Hey everybody! Are y'all ready to do some self-regulation? Because I am. This is actually one of my strengths, is teaching kids how to self-regulate. And it's been difficult for me. Stella's getting better. Y'all look at my hair sticking up, sorry. At it, but she's still almost 4. I feel like, I don't know, maybe age 5 or 6, or if your kid is a little more advanced on how they're feeling, then you might be able to do it. Because I feel like I'm just now starting to enter the phase where Stella can understand a little bit better, and she's almost 4. But we're gonna talk, I'm gonna break this lesson up to show you how I do this lesson. Sorry, you're gonna hear dogs barking, kids in the background. That's my life. So one of the best things that I love to do are the zones of regulation. Now, I did this and it really worked for kids, but I'm going to teach you and show you first, and then I'll give you the resource of how to get this stuff and do it with your kids. These dogs are going to... Hang on, let me take care of them. All right, sorry y'all, package was delivered. Here we are. Now... before I start, I also want to let you know, this is not an activity you're going to use when your kid is in a full-fledged meltdown. I'm going to tell this to you. So, I don't know if you've ever heard this before. Maybe it's a counselor thing, I don't know. But you cannot reason with someone who is in their upstairs brain instead of their downstairs brain. And let me explain what that means. When you're in your downstairs brain, you're calm, you're normal, you're cool, collected, you're thinking logically. Yes. I call your upstairs brain when you're like flipping out, you're upset, you're throwing a tantrum, you're throwing things around the room, you're screaming, you're crying, you're hitting, you're hurting, things like that. That's your upstairs brain. You can never reason with a kid when they're in that state of mind. You're wasting your breath and you're wasting your time. The best thing you can do is try to get them to calm down, take some deep breaths, because when you get more oxygen to your brain, you can think better, you can think clearer, and you can calm down a little bit more and be more reasonable. So that's what I always encourage is deep breaths, smell the roses, blow out your birthday candles. Now that you know that, this self-regulation activity. And what I mean by self-regulation is a kid being able to notice, hey, I'm feeling mad. What can I do? Hey, I'm feeling sad. What can I do to change that? And I always tell kids it's totally normal to be happy, to be mad, to be sad, to be, it's normal to feel everything, and that's okay. You should. But I also have this for my girls. It says, are you angry? And it says, these are some strategies they can use if they get mad. So get a stuffed toy and squeeze it. Take out some Play-Doh, squish it with all your might. Take a deep breath and count to 10. Smell the roses, blow out the candles. And then I feel, use your words to say how you feel. Now, a lot of kids don't want to do this. Because they don't want to breathe, or because you're telling them to do it. So with all that being said, I'm going to do half of the activities because I don't want this video to be forever long. But whenever I teach about self-regulation and how to notice how you're feeling, I like to do the zones of regulation. So what that means, you associate feelings with colors, because in kindergarten first, that's your primary thing that you know are colors, right? So it's usually easier for a kid to identify an emotion with a color. So here's an example. Yellow zone. Okay, there are, 1, 2, 3, 4 zones, okay? Let's start with yellow zone. It says frustrated, silly, excited, nervous, and you've got some control when you're in the yellow zone. Like you might be nervous on the first day of school, things like that. You might be anxious about taking a test tomorrow. That's more of your yellow zone. You've got some control, but you still feel a certain way. Your green zone. This is you're happy, you are focused, you're calm, you're feeling okay, you're ready to learn. So you're ready to bring whatever the day has for you. Great behavior, great mood. Now your blue zone might be when you're bored, you're sad, you're tired, you're sick, you're moving a little bit slower. You're just, you're gloom and doomy. Is that doomy? Is that even, no, gloomy. Gloom and doom. I'm like, what? And it's important to be able to realize, hey, I'm sad today, or I'm upset and I'm having a rough time and I'm really tired and didn't sleep well last night. That's your blue zone. And then you got your red zone. You're angry, you're mad, you're terrified, you're completely out of control, you're hitting, you're kicking, you're screaming, you're throwing yourself on the floor, you're not doing anything I tell you to do, you say no. That's that red zone. So what I like to do is teach the kids all these zones. And then I even like to put them around the room, tape them to the wall, different walls around the room. And I'll say, how did you feel on the first day of school? And some kids go to happy, and some go to that yellow, nervous. And I just kind of do activities and ask them about 10 different questions that relate to them. How do you feel? Oh, thank you. About suckers. Usually everybody goes to the happy, the green, because they love suckers. How do you feel about math? Okay. How do you feel about your brother or your sister? I mean, just different things like that. Do you like going to the movies? I mean, just all kinds of things. And it's just a way for you to get to know the kid a little bit better. But it is also, especially even if they're your own, you're kind of getting to know even more. You always learn something, I feel like, every day, something new. So I like to do that as kind of like an introduction and just kind of get them familiarized with the zones. That way, when they're feeling a type of way, they can say, okay, I guess I'm in the yellow zone today. I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go do this today. Or I'm nervous. I'm going to the doctor. I think it's them learning, okay, I feel this way, so I'm this color today. Kind of like that, just associating their feelings with the color. And I think that that's the first skill. And then after that, there are other activities that I like to do. So I'm going to save that for another time because I think that that's a great place to start. I've already 7 minutes in. I don't want to make this video forever long, but that's how I like to start the lesson, how I like to do it. And then I'm going to talk to you about triggers. This is the next video that I'm going to make soon. I'm going to talk to you about triggers. And we're going to talk about a flip book. And this is the golden thing for kids. We make a flip book of red tools, yellow tools, green tools, and blue tools so that when they start feeling this type of way in that zone, there are strategies in this flip book that are going to help them decompress and decide, what is the best strategy for them to use before they lose control and have a tantrum, or before they get super upset and start crying and can't quit crying, things like that. So the next lesson, I'll talk about triggers, how to identify those with kids, and then we'll talk about a toolbox that they can use. And I think that that's the coolest thing. It's visual. It's also you can hold it, you can touch it. It's tangible. So I love that because it's nice to just go back and look at, hey, okay, I'm feeling this way. This is how I feel. What should I do? It's a great tool. All right. Can't wait to talk. Okay. I can't wait to talk more about self-regulation with y'all.